Something strange is happening in one of the wealthiest streets in Britain, and the response from City Hall has left Londoners stunned. What started as a local complaint about safety and sanitation has now spiraled into a full-blown political flashpoint, with the Mayor of London defending the last thing anyone expected. Stay with this, because the story unfolding on Park Lane says more about our leadership than most dare to admit. Let's break it down. But first, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for more. Something deeply unsettling is happening right in the heart of London, and it's being framed not as a problem, but as a supposed victory for diversity. Park Lane, one of the most prestigious, high-value strips of real estate in the entire United Kingdom. Lined with luxury hotels, billionaire mansions, and iconic landmarks, it's supposed to represent the height of British success. But today, it's become a symbol of political failure and public outrage. Why? Because nestled among this high-end district is now a makeshift migrant encampment, one that has been directly linked to public defecation, street drinking, and blatant antisocial behaviour. But instead of addressing the complaints and taking action to restore order and dignity to one of the capital's most visible streets, London Mayor Sadiq has done something else entirely. He's doubled down. In response to a concerned London parent whose child noticed the chaos on the way to school, Khan's office sidestepped the specific complaints entirely. There was no mention of the sanitation issues, no acknowledgement of the residents' frustrations, no plan to remove the encampment or restore safety. Instead, Khan's team issued a sweeping defense of mass migration, stating that London draws huge strength from the contributions of migrants and refugees. They went so far as to claim the encampment was part of what makes the city diverse, welcoming, and truly global. Now pause for a moment. When a Londoner writes in because their child is walking past what is effectively a street-level squat camp, where people are reportedly relieving themselves on pavements and drinking in broad daylight, the official mayoral response is to talk about cultural enrichment. This is not just tone deaf, it's an insult to every hard-working Londoner who pays their taxes, abides by the law, and expects basic standards of hygiene, order, and public decency, especially in areas like Park Lane that represent our international image. Unsurprisingly, the backlash has been swift. Conservative London Assembly leader Susan Hall hit back hard, saying, "I don't think pooing in the street is the sort of contribution Londoners expect migrants to be making to our city." And who can blame her? This isn't about demonising migrants, it's about the refusal of Labour leaders to admit when their open-door approach to immigration has consequences. The Park Lane camp is just one visual reminder of a much deeper issue. Unregulated migration, a housing crisis, and a political class more concerned with ideology than practical governance. Sadiq Khan's team claim he's doing everything in his power to end rough sleeping by 2030. That's 7 years away. Meanwhile, residents are watching one of the most iconic roads in Britain turn into a public toilet. And even the so-called solution offered, directing people to a website to report rough sleeping, feels like a bad joke. Londoners don't want to fill in online forms while walking past chaos. They want action, they want leadership. More than that, they want honesty. This isn't the first time Khan has refused to confront uncomfortable truths. From spiraling knife crime to Yuli's expansion, to now shrugging off antisocial behaviour in Mayfair, he has made a habit of turning blind eyes and hiding behind buzzwords like diversity and global city, while the capital slowly descends into disorder. And let's not forget, Park Lane is just the start. If this is tolerated in the wealthiest postcodes of London, what does that say about the standards being applied elsewhere, in less affluent boroughs, where working class families face these problems every single day with no media coverage at all? In the end, this isn't just about a migrant camp. It's about values, governance, accountability. Because when your leaders are more offended by criticism of antisocial behaviour than the behaviour itself, something is seriously wrong. And for many Londoners, Sadiq Khan's response has made one thing clear. He doesn't see what you see. He doesn't live what you live. And maybe, just maybe, that's the real problem. In other news, Eamon Holmes has expressed frustration about a key British industry being ignored in the wake of Keir Starmer's surrender to the EU. The Prime Minister unveiled his Brexit reset alongside EU leaders at a central London summit yesterday, and has been accused of making major concessions to the bloc. His decision to allow European trawlers 12 years of access to UK waters has sparked backlash, and Eamon said on the People's Channel, the concerns of Britain's fishermen are going unheard. They will try and make out farmers are going to do very well. I don't know, but they say they will, he said. But I think who cares about the fishermen? Nobody seems to care. They are on their own. Former Tory MP Anna Firth told the media she is furious about the agreement that she sees as a shabby sellout of our historic fishing industry. She said, "When we came out with Brexit, one of the things fishermen weren't happy about was being kept in the orbit of Brussels for 5 years. That was due to come to an end next year, and we were going to be able to get complete control of our fishing waters. What this has done is given this away. Fishermen have had a bad time for decades. The fishing industry has halved in the last 40 years. This is probably going to be the end of our small fishing fleet. Government sources have hailed the major deal as one that is mutually beneficial and would deliver for British working people. Last-minute stumbling blocks are said to have arisen as disagreements over fishing rights and youth mobility presented challenges. The Scottish Government has expressed concern, stating it has not been briefed on fisheries negotiations despite agriculture and fisheries being devolved to Scotland. Ex-Prime Minister Boris Johnson branded Keir Starmer, the Gimp of Brussels, in a brutal verdict while speaking to the media about what he called a hopelessly one-sided deal with the EU. Both Conservative leader Kemi Badenoch and Reform UK leader Nigel Farage have already described the deal as a surrender, despite the details not yet being known, and indicated they would tear it up if they came to power. Liberal Democrat leader Ed Davey urged the Prime Minister to be bold and ambitious, comparing Badenoch and Farage to dinosaurs fighting old battles. He argued that a new UK-EU customs union would be the single biggest thing ministers could do to boost public finances, warning that anything less would be a choice to limit growth. The Brexit reset has ignited fierce debate, with critics accusing the Prime Minister of betraying Britain's fishing communities, while supporters argue the deal is a pragmatic step forward. As tensions rise and political lines harden, the future of key British industries and the UK's relationship with the EU hangs in the balance. What are your thoughts on what we discussed in today's video? Let me know down in the comments section below. If you've not yet already, make sure you do drop a like on this video and subscribe to the channel for more British content. Thank you, take care, goodbye.